Buster the Lounge Lizard is the second segment of the fourth episode of the 15th season of Arthur. And in this episode, Buster takes a new toy that he has to school, and it's a very complex toy. I won't spoil it by explaining it in too much detail, but it's very sensitive as well, and it gets him into a bit of trouble with Mr. Ratburn. And Mr. Ratburn tells him to take the toy out of the classroom, never to bring it back in again. Buster does this, but because the toy is very sensitive, it ends up going off on its own and entering the teacher's lounge. And while they're trying to find a way of getting it back without Buster getting into trouble, the children all start to wonder what it's like inside the teacher's lounge, and some of them have some very, very fanciful, slightly far-fetched ideas. But I think it's a very memory triggering episode, because this is not something I'd thought about in a long time, but it did kind of make me think, yeah, once upon a time I used to wonder what it was like inside the teacher's lounge, because obviously it's generally not an area where pupils go. I think I went inside the teacher's lounge at one point. I can't remember why. I think I was waiting with a teacher and they had to get something, and they opened the door and just kind of held it, and I can't remember. But I have a vague memory of having been in one once, and I know it's not anything fancy, but certainly for children, it's a great way to imagine all kinds of things. And, when you're not allowed to go somewhere, it becomes more intriguing and more mysterious. And I like that aspect of it. I think it really kind of showed the age of the characters and showed just how much the unknown can conjure all kinds of fancy creations. It's also a lesson in not taking your toys to school because things could go horribly wrong. I think that's definitely something that the target audience can benefit from, because I think we've all been in a situation where we've got something new and we're desperate to take it into school and show our friends, and our parents are like, no, don't do that because it will get lost or broken. We also used to have, like on the last day of term, we could bring in toys and games, and there was always the temptation to bring in our fancy gadgets, but school's a rough place. Maybe, as Buster learned, things are better left at home. I didn't mind the episode. Buster the Lounge Lizard is not one of my all-time favourite episodes, but I thought it was pretty good fun, and one that I quite enjoyed.